Hi, I'm Tisha,
I'm Loren.
and this is the Open Booked Podcast. Today, we're talking about The War of Two Queens, the fourth book in the FBAA series from Blood and Ash by Jennifer L Armentrout.
Yeah. Um I'm I wish I could say I'm excited to cover this one, but I think we peaked last week.
Yeah, that one was definitely my favorite. This one has a lot of information, so it's definitely important, but it also has the ick. So,
Yeah. We're definitely gonna get into the ick. I'm glad it's not just me though, because I felt like when I texted you that it was like a 50-50 shot. I was just being dramatic, but you justified my feelings. So or
yeah,
validated.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't
Um
know.
we'll get into that. Um First and foremost, what are you reading now?
Troy something that Carla Luna that you recommended.
Oh yeah, Troy.
Troy
What? No,
Story.
Troy story. Story. Is that the first one
It's the
of that little
second
mini series?
one.
Okay, what was the first one?
The first
Ruined.
one was Field Rules.
Field Rules
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
Troy Story, and then Tour Wars, right?
yeah, it's the Ruinous Love series.
Yeah. Funny, I actually just finished Tour Wars yesterday, which is the
Oh,
third
cool.
one. It wasn't on Everend for the longest time, and then I think it came on in um November, so I was able to
Oh
listen
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
There's also
Because
like
I
a Blue Hawaiian series or something like there's another series.
yeah I added that to my saved to listen to next if I which I'm gonna need to because I am now like 6 books behind. Yeah.
Gasp. Yeah, no, I like her books because they're like quick, cheesy, spicy, like they're just like and there's a lot of banter, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I just it's like a good palate cleanser for me in between like this. These kind of
Yeah.
books are like a freaky thriller or something. I just like to have a little rotation and hers have been good, like little fillers.
Yeah. And I just listened to Last Place Seen by Alessandra Harris
I haven't heard
before
of that.
this series, and it's pretty good. It's about a little girl that goes missing, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and not at all who I would have expected to be like the kidnapper. So that
Love
was
it.
nice.
I love it when they can keep us on our toes.
Yeah.
I need to look at my challenge. Okay, I'm 3 books ahead of schedule. I only need to read 6 more this year to hit my goal.
Dang. I have a lot. I think last I noticed I was at load.
You're at 131.
Yeah. So I've got 29 and I'm 6 behind schedule. But somebody recommended on my post on Insta a series. She said there's like 4 or 5 books and they're like 60 to 100 pages. So I'm thinking if I download those on my Kindle, I can bust through those real quick.
Yeah.
The thing I
I
don't like about my Kindle is I can't do like Everand or Libby because that would help a ton.
Can you not? That's a really good call out. You can't?
No, I literally can't do anything except for KU, and
I haven't
it's the
tried.
new Kindle Paperwhite signature or whatever.
That's
So
the
I
one I
thought it
got
would
too.
be like nice and fancy, and it's literally just book, like the KU app.
I went on a work trip a couple weeks ago. I think I talked about this, and I had just gotten my Kindle like 2 days before,
Mm-hmm.
so I downloaded a book, and I needed to get dinner. And when I'm in a new place, I always number one book a hotel with a restaurant because I don't want to have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down to it was like the bar lobby restaurant all together. Sat at the bar, made my like order to go get in my to eat in my room, and I'm sitting at a bar with a drink, reading my Kindle, and this drunk guy, he was not creepy at all or anything, super nice, was like, "Dang girl, how old is that thing?" I was like, "It's only 2 days old." But he was like, "It looks so old. I didn't know they made them like that." I'm like, "It's brand new." What to tell you. It's like I was that girl reading at a bar, but I'm sure our listeners can relate to that. But I thought it was funny. I was like, okay, it's literally brand new, but thanks for noticing, I guess.
Cool, cool. Yeah, because I guess Jeremy had ordered a different version, and that's why I didn't get it until just a couple of weeks ago when my birthday was over a month ago. He ordered it, and of course through Amazon, and they just kept delaying it. And he's like, "What in the actual fuck?" They reached out, and they're like, "Oh, they've had some logistics issues." And he's like, "Apparently, there's a new version that came out. It was the signature." He's like, "So they're just not expecting people to actually want the older version." So he's like, "I just canceled it. It was the exact same price and ordered the new one." I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I get the new one.
Yeah, for sure. I think they haven't changed anything since like I had the very first Kindle when it very first came out. Like I was in high school, maybe even middle school. Well, no, I wasn't middle school because Jesse bought it for me. So I had to have been in high school. And it literally, besides the screen being bigger, it seems just the same. But I couldn't figure out how to, like, I'm acting like a boomer with this thing. Jesse was like, let me play with it. But I found out you can highlight words and it'll give you the definition. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I accidentally did that, and then I found out how to make my screen black and the words lighter.
Oh, okay.
So it's like the opposite, which I really like.
Yeah.
I may switch it up every now and then. It's like dark mode. And then like I was like, how do I even get out of my book? Like I'm in my book. How do I get out of it?
I had to like just touch around on it and like try to like swipe down and swipe up and like try to do all the things. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm like, okay, boomer to myself. Turning my page, trying to get, and I'm like, okay, I don't even know what page I'm on now.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's all good.
What are you reading?
Getting used to it. What am I reading? I just finished Tour Wars yesterday. That was my listen book. So I popped back over to the 5th book in this to prep for next week's episode. I have about 4 hours left in that. We'll get into a little bit more why. The 5th book, honestly, I'm pretty bored. This is not spoiling. It's a retelling. There's not any new story in it.
Yeah.
It's like Cass's point of view of the first book.
Yeah.
I don't know if it goes all the way through 4 of them. I can't imagine it does because of the time that I have left. I would assume it just goes through the first, and then once they're together, I think is when it... So I'm just like, I already know what happens. Like, I assumed your point of view was this. You're, clarifying that for me, but kind of already assumed this.
Yeah.
And now we need to talk about this because it's just, as we're recording this, it's December 1st. Are we going to hop into that other series? Are we going to cover that? Or we need to figure out what we're doing. Because after 5, right, it's the other series.
June before the next one. Yeah.
June before the next one, right.
I was thinking about that too. I thought about, because we talked about just doing the next series and kind of finishing out the year with that, but I kind of want to hop into like Christmassy
Me too!
shit. I knew you would because you're a Hallmark girly, but
all booked for Christmas.
But yeah, I think those are a lot more like novellas, like cutesy little, can burn through them quickly. And since I'm behind my goal, I think that's probably going to be better.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's finish with book 5 next week, and then let's just balls to the wall with Christmas.
Okay.
I actually went shopping yesterday, or Friday, and got some Christmas books for Black Friday. So here, All the Jingle Ladies.
I think I saw that one.
A Winter Wish. This one's a little mystery. Mrs. Claus in the Nightmare Before New Year's.
Okay.
This one's big for a little paperback, though. Christmas Eve Love Story. And then Wreck My Plans. That ain't gonna be the only thing he's wrecking. I have some from last year I didn't read either. Or read yet last year because I ran out of time. But yeah, anyways, I'm good with that. We'll figure out which ones we want to do. Okay, so the 6th book, Primal of Blood and Bone. Yeah, okay, got it. Wait, pre-order price for that? That's Kindle. I was like $8.99, but that's Kindle price. Okay. I'll probably wait for it to come out on every end.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just shopping, looking at that series. Let me Let me find the other series real quick and see what it's. Wait, she has a Christmas book?
Hmm.
Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. No, that's. See, this is when I get confused, guys.
Yeah.
Born of
And I think
Blood
they do
and
that intentionally to just get you to click more and to like look around and be like, oh, I didn't know there were more in this series, or there was going to be a continuation of this, or blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so it's called Flesh and Fire 4-book series. A shadow in the ember, a light in the flame, a fire in the flesh, and born of blood and ash. They're all way too similar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's too much.
Okay, it's too much.
And I feel like that should have been foreshadowing for all of the fucking names being the same. Ileana, Eloana, Nyktos, and Nectus. What are the brothers?
Malik and Malek.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
I say Malik bro, Malik god, okay? They're the same shit.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull back up my notes. I went on a Goodreads spiral looking at all of those. Okay, let's cover some current events. Did you see about the Menendez brother Lyle's divorce and cheating scandal?
No, but why does that not surprise me?
Okay, so he's been married since like early 2000s to this girl, and he's been in jail since 1990. So I don't know how this happens, conjugal visits, what that is, but he's been married, and then they just come out that they're getting a divorce. Apparently, she's come out and said they've been, since even before the show and stuff, they had been like separated, which they're already separated. He's in jail, but whatever. Like mentally separated, I don't know. And so it come out that he has a girlfriend, and she's like super young. And they were all like, oh, he cheated. And she came out and was like, no, we haven't been together for like a long time. But everyone's like giving him some hate because of a pause. How do you cheat from jail? Letters? Phone calls?
Conjugal visits? Who knows?
That's the latest in the Menendez brothers saga. I think they might be getting out. Like, I think they're about to get out. They just had like another hearing pretty much that like set the cadence for their hearings. And it sounds like the judge wants to give him another shot.
I feel like, especially with him being in the middle of a divorce, now is like the worst time to let them out. Because, I mean, what if she does something he doesn't like and he decides to do the same thing they did to their parents?
Yeah. Honestly, I would be terrified of that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's one thing, you know, if they were abused and that's why they did it. But there's just so much up in the air. Like, there's no way to really know why they did it. And I mean, you know, maybe he told his wife why they did it or whatever. But yeah, I would be terrified.
Yeah, I would too. Even if it came out that they were abused, that just shows that they are capable of doing that.
Yeah.
And then what they did after, like the spending sprees, the limos, the security, the rollies.
Drugs.
I mean, drugs. Yeah. I mean, it just... maybe that was their way of coping. I'm not judging. I haven't lost a parent, so I haven't killed a parent. I haven't lost a parent. I don't know how I would act, but at the same time, it just doesn't seem like a normal way to react. So anyways, we'll keep talking about that as updates come along. I'm sure it's going to be top news.
Yeah.
Have you seen the story about the missing Hawaiian woman, Hannah Kobayashi, I think is how you say it? Have you seen all that? Okay. So this is the original story, and then I'll give you the update as of yesterday. Okay. Well, maybe, we'll go through the time. Okay. It was like early November. This girl is flying from Maui to New York. She has a layover in LAX. Seems pretty standard. She's traveling with her ex-boyfriend because they booked the trip before they broke up. Apparently, all is friendly. It wasn't a big deal. Like, they were still just going to travel.
I did see this.
And do like their own things, right? So they land. She has a little bit over an hour to get to her connecting flight, which I'm sure the flight from Maui to LA is a long one. So you may have to go to the bathroom. You're probably hungry. Like, I get it. But at first they said the boyfriend made the flight and she didn't. So they thought, my first thought is she's a woman. She had to go to the bathroom. She had some shit to do and he could just go to the urinal and then run. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought maybe it was like, okay, you guys aren't really together anymore, so you're not looking out for your exes. I don't know. That's just where my initial head went. Like, he's like, okay, I would still feel like if you're friendly, you would wait outside the bathroom, you would wait by the food, you would still walk together, I would think.
Yeah.
But apparently that didn't happen. He made the flight, she did not. So then she's on the standby list. Apparently that could last up to days, because a flight from LA to New York is, I'm sure everyone shows up for. So they show her missing her flight, and then they show her, like, over the next couple of days, she's, like, gallivanting over LA, across LA, taking the metro and stuff, and then coming back to the airport, talking to gate agents, staying the night in the airport, and then during the day, like, she's, like, pretty much seems like she's trying to get on a flight standby, so she has to show back up to the airport at certain times. But she's like, I'm not just going to sit at the airport, so she, like, takes the metro, whatever. So she's still in communication with her family for, like, 3 days at this point. But they said, like, one of her friends, or I think maybe it was her aunt or something, she had sent pictures in a bookstore, and she said, like, she was using words she usually doesn't, like babe or baby, like, she was calling them, like, names that she usually doesn't. Like, if I started texting you and be like, hey babe, you would be like, who are you? Because I don't do that.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. I go like, hi, hey there, whatever. But if I say, hey babe, you're gonna be like, Lauren, you good? What if you need help?
Like body
so
snatchers.
That happened. Yeah, seriously, like, who got in you, girl? So that's happening, and then she texts her friend or somebody that she lost all of her money from someone she loved, and she has, like, had some spiritual reawakening or experience, and then that's, like, the last text she sent. That's the last ping on her phone. People are coming out and saying, like, yeah, I saw this, and it's getting confirmed. Like, they saw her with a suitcase. They saw her, like, they saw her places, right? And the update, her dad comes to town to look, and then all of a sudden, he suicides. Did you see that? He jumped off, supposedly, allegedly, jumped off of a 7-foot parking garage at LAX. So now her dad, who was there in town looking for her, going door to door, passing out flyers, all of a sudden is dead. They don't have any leads. So, like, it's a little preemptive to me if you found her body and then either way, it's not good. But, like, is he just assuming the worst, or did he get too close to something?
Yeah, I feel like this is, like, she's joined a cult.
Yep.
Because I actually read a book similar to this. Like, the mom just abandoned her kids in the parking lot of the grocery store and acted like she was kidnapped. But it was because she joined a cult. And then she comes back, but she's not the same person. So I feel like she's probably joined a cult. She had that was the religious experience she was talking about. And then, her dad is there. He gets too close to it. And they're like, we can't have people finding out about this. And he unalives himself.
Yeah. So then the other theory is, what if the dad was involved? But the dad was in see, I've saw conflicting stories on this. I don't know if the dad was in Maui or if the dad was in New York and she was traveling to see the dad in New York. But I know for a fact, the days that this happened, like the few days, he was not even close to the vicinity of where she was. So I'm like, okay, it would have been orchestrated, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But the last thing I saw was that she intentionally missed her flight. Like, airport footage came out, she intentionally missed her flight, which the original thought was that it was unintentional. So that's, like, as of yesterday, that's new information.
Okay.
So
but she didn't want to be traveling with the ex-boyfriend anymore.
Maybe they got into it on the that was kind of one of my things too. Like, they're acting like it's cordial, it's fine. He just went onto his flight. To me, I'm almost like he knew what she was what she was up to, and either just left her ass there, or she was trying to ditch him so that he didn't know what she was up to. Maybe she told him, hey, I'll meet you on the plane or whatever, and then just didn't. I don't know I think the boyfriend's probably a huge person of interest, maybe not like as a suspect, but as like a way to find out what was going on. Like, what did she say on the plane? Like, but they're checking her Venmos now, because apparently the last day she sent those texts about not having any money, she Venmo'd like 2 random people. So they're like trying to track those people down too.
Yeah, weird.
I'm like, you are flying from Maui to New York and you're stuck in LA with no money? Like, how does that happen? Like, I don't understand, genuinely, unless you join a cult and you give them all your money.
Literally.
But how do you fall in love with someone in 3 days to give them all your money?
Maybe they had a relationship beforehand, and maybe that's why she broke up with the ex.
Great.
There's so many scenarios that could be happening.
Yeah. Like she broke up with the ex and had this trip planned. Was like, I'm gonna ditch him. You're in LA. I'm gonna pretend like I'm going to New York with him. I'm gonna miss my
Mm-hmm.
flight, and then just gets into some deep shit. Maybe she got
Yeah,
catfished.
that's definitely a possibility too.
So they need to be checking like dating apps, Craigslist. They need to be. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're going through that shit with a fine tooth comb because it's such a national case at this point. So many people are invested that there's going to be eyes on them to get their shit right.
What's sad though is, what do you want to bet the internet figures it out before the authorities? Because they have more resources.
I would bet that the internet could figure it out. You give a bunch of freaking sleuths, whatever sleuths they're called, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You give them the websites that the government have access to, done. Every cold case crime solved in a day.
One. Like that.
Literally.
Was it Don't Fuck with Cats, where the guy was like they found him in Canada?
I didn't know that.
I don't know, but like the government couldn't figure it out. Like international couldn't figure it out. All these agencies working on it, and a bunch of people on the internet that were cat fanatics looked at pictures and looked at the background and figured out where he was staying, because he was doing like live stream or something on some video call. I don't know. But they just looked at the background and they're like, he's here. And they were able to arrest this guy. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? Like literally,
That's insane.
just outsource it. Like, we're paying so much money for these overworked, underpaid civil servants to do these jobs that they're not really capable of. Because I mean, literally, I was looking at job listings last week or 2 weeks ago, and the city of Centerton is hiring a police officer, and city of Rogers too, and Bentonville. And I'm like, so any Joe Schmo can just come off the street, and if they have a certain degree or decide to get this training, they can just be a cop.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So, yeah.
I do think the women of the internet can figure shit out. Yeah. No, and it's cool to me that some of these old cases are getting brought back up again. Like my next two items on our notes are like the DB Cooper. Did you see all that stuff?
DB Cooper.
Okay, so it's a true crime case from like, I don't remember if it's 70s, 80s, a long time ago. He's on a flight in the Pacific Northwest, okay? From like Portland to Seattle or vice versa. He gets on a plane, he gets on that flight, and then when they get in the air, he says, give me $200,000. He gets the money. I don't know if everybody scrounged pennies together or how $200,000 was on this flight. He gets the money, opens the back door of the fucking plane. He has a parachute, parachutes his ass out. They never found him. They never anything. I guess he changed his name. He told them the name was DB Cooper. Okay, so there's these kids that were like, my dad is DB Cooper. I swear my dad is DB Cooper. He died. They're going through his shit and find the fucking parachute.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, that literally just happened this week.
I love that.
Honestly, I'm like, bro got away with it for that long. I mean, like in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, man, it was a fucking Wild West. You could do anything. You could change your name. You could just whatever. No one would ever fucking know. Nowadays, that's absolutely impossible. Yeah. But back in the day, oh man, you could do some shit.
Yeah, that's just wild.
Yeah, I thought that was, I'm laughing about it now. It's kind of funny. He didn't hurt anybody. He stole money. He shouldn't have done that. But I'm like, bro got away with it. Lived a normal life, has kids. The fuck ever.
I wonder what he did with that money.
I don't know.
Like,
they were like cleaning out his stuff.
Foreclosure or something. Like, why did he need exactly $200,000? Like, that's so many questions.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be a documentary about it now. Like, I'm sure someone will come. But it was one of the most like big unsolved true crime cases that people covered because it was just so unique. Like, no one just carries a fucking parachute on a plane and jumps out the back. You get the money. Okay.
So wild.
I just had a light bulb moment. Is this the story that Without a Paddle is based on? Do you remember that movie? They go try to find DB Cooper. Oh my gosh, it is.
I don't remember Without a Paddle, like, at all.
Okay, it's got the dude who plays Shaggy. It's also got the dude from The Hangover, the one that's getting married. Paddle. Treasure. That's right. That movie is based on that guy because they never found him. And in the movie, they do find, whatever, spoiler alert, It's a hilarious movie, by the way.
Huh.
I watched it way too young.
I feel
had
like with
lots of
this new
questions.
information now they need like a redo.
Okay, so it's Seth Green, Matthew Lillard, and Dax Shepard.
Okay,
Those
yeah.
are the three amigos here, and they go on a floating trip because as kids they wanted to find DB's treasure.
Crazy.
Okay, so this is funny. It's from 2004.
Mm-hmm. Damn, this movie can almost drink.
Yeah. Oh my god. Stop. No. That's funny. Okay, I'm gonna make this one short because we've talked a lot and we have a lot of book to cover. John Benet Ramsey has a new documentary on Netflix. Have you watched it yet?
Okay, I haven't yet.
I haven't either. A lot of people are pissed off about it because it like skirts around some really important info and they feel like it's very much targeted towards one way or the other. I don't really know which way. But I do know the dad went on Crime Junkie podcast, which, hey, I'm a fan, and said that they have the information and resources to solve this case now. Like, there is full DNA profiles and they aren't doing shit about it, is my understanding. I'm like, this is one of the most popular true crime stories of all time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they just want to keep it, like, to keep Boulder, Colorado relevant, or they just genuinely don't know. I mean, that was the only murder that entire year in their town. So, like, I don't know. I know we could talk about this all day, how the crime scene was handled terribly. Like, they just let everyone tromp all over everything. Like, and the suicide or the ransom note and all that. I mean, that case is just a freaking
I feel like a lot of that mishandling is very much intentional because someone was paid off and they know that if they can fuck around long enough, whoever was paid off will pass away from, whatever causes, and they'll be able to finally solve this.
If Diddy's involved, it would be pneumonia. Didn't someone else just die of pneumonia, like his head of security or some shit?
Yeah.
You can't even make this stuff up.
No, not at all.
Okay, on to lighter things. It's December. Happy Christmas.
Yay!
I did not say Happy Christmas, but I watched The Holiday, and, it's a great movie. Okay, so we're going to do something fun. What is your favorite Christmas song?
It's a tie, I think, between either Santa Baby or Last Christmas.
Last Christmas is a fucking bop.
Yeah.
But what versions? Because everybody and their brother has covered both of those songs. Last Christmas, to me, Wham. It's got to be Wham.
Yeah. That's the only one I like. And Santa Baby, I almost showing my age here. I think it's the Betty Boop version.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Love it.
Yeah, I think I listened to it like a bajillion times when I was little. With like, I can vividly remember being at a friend's house. She had this attic space that we used to play in, and like there's snow on the ground. Like, it is so fucking cold. We lived out in Hiawassee by the airport, and I would walk over there and we would play up there for hours, like still bundled up because it's the attic. There's no heat in there. And we would like build a fort and listen to Santa Baby on repeat for like 6 hours.
It's hilarious. That's a very precise memory. I love that.
Yes. What's yours?
I don't know the name of mine, but it's the one that goes, they're singing Deck the Halls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like Christmas maybe it's called Baby Please Come Home.
I think so.
Oh, that's what it's called. It's called Christmas, parentheses, Baby Please Come Home.
The Darlene Love version?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. I actually don't mind the Michael Bublé version either.
I love Michael Bublé all Christmas. Yeah.
His voice, it's just beautiful. Yes. He's just Santa. I'm convinced. What about Christmas movie?
Even know.
Jesse's is Die Hard, which people say, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or is it not? Technically, it's on Christmas, and they do say Merry Christmas in it. It's like an action dude's version of a Christmas movie. That's my opinion.
I'm a big Polar Express and Elf fan.
Okay.
But it's a newer movie, The Christmas Chronicles.
So good. Kurt Russell's the best Santa ever.
Yes.
People are freaking out about the Target Santa. Nah. Give me Kurt Russell. Give me Kurt Russell.
100. Yeah.
He kills that. No, that movie. And then he like the rock and roll. Oh, that's such a good movie.
Yes, yes.
My favorite of all time, I'm gonna watch it every day. Not really. Is The Grinch, but Jim Carrey version only. I don't want the old cartoon. I do not want the new cartoon. Jim Carrey, The Grinch.
Yeah.
Top tier Christmas movie. I've already watched it this year a couple times. Now I have a couple honorable mentions. The Holiday. It's classic, okay? It's our generation is making it popular again. I just want to live in that cottage in England and read books, okay? It just looks like a vibe. I don't want the
You gotta replace the roof though.
Yeah. You did call that out on my Instagram story.
I was like, I can see it sagging. No.
Honestly, Jude Law came out and said that cottage doesn't even exist.
Aww.
They built like a fake looking one because to match the director's vision because they could not find one that they thought fit her vision or whatever. So
I'm surprised someone hasn't made an Airbnb of it.
Like made one and they really should. If not, there's a marketing idea for us. There's an investment opportunity. And then have you watched Holiday on Netflix? It's a newer one.
Holiday. I think so.
It's Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Jesse and I watched that when it first came out in like 2020. And it's now a staple every year. It's like, okay, in between Halloween and Christmas, because it covers all the holidays. I mean, it like wraps up on Christmas, and they meet on Christmas. Yeah. So it's like, it covers all the holidays, but it's so funny. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it. You will die laughing. It is adult, though. Okay.
The Santa Claus movies were really good with Tim Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Loved those.
Classic.
I really like, I know you don't like Anna Kendrick, though. I like Noelle.
Oh, it's good. I don't hate her to the point I don't watch her shows.
Yeah.
I'm just not like, she's just not my favorite.
And then I just saw another one that I really like too. Oh, have you seen Spirited with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds?
Mm-mm.
I need to watch it. For some reason
Christmas.
On the front of it, it looks like they're like ice skaters.
Like Blaze of Glory. You remember that movie?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, have you seen Christmas Twister?
No.
I didn't know it was a thing, but I just saw it on this list of Christmas movies. So I might need to watch that.
Yeah. I love me some tornadoes.
Yep.
No, I just like the movies.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Are we ready to cover this book? No.
Yeah.
Let's rip off the Band-Aid.
Okay,
War of Two Queens. I'm going to go in order of how shit happens in the book. So we will get to the least favorite part. We start off, Cass is napped. He gave himself up to save his honey.
Mm-hmm.
Respect, but also like whatever. Okay, he's in this cell. I'm sure it's bringing back memories.
Mm-hmm.
They give him blood. He gives them blood. They barely give him enough to survive. He's definitely like borderline bloodlust.
Mm-hmm.
But Queen Bitch comes and visits him. I can't talk. Visits him. And the biggest thing we learn from this is she's actually help me say it. Demisgod. Yeah. So not really a god, but not human. So Poppy and Kieran are getting awfully close. They started planning to fuck shit up. I think the original plan was avoid war, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think they realized that's not going to happen.
Oh.
So they say, we're going to go take all these towns, but you have to give the humans inside the opportunity to leave or help us. Like, you can't just kill everyone.
Yeah.
One thing I noted was when they get to the town, the Oak Ambler town, and all the people were, like, staked up outside the walls with the veil like she had.
Yeah. That was fucked up.
Like, as a statement, that was super fucked up. But yeah, they get there. The Ascended living in the town have been taking humans out and turning them on purpose, which, like, does the Ascended, anything the Ascended do at this point surprise us? No.
Just like the government.
Literally. The Ascended is the government. Okay, Kieran be sleeping in bed with her at this point as a wolf, but still, I'm like...
It gave me very much, what was that witchy book?
Spookily Yours.
Yes, it gave me those vibes.
Yeah, but, like, Kieran and her aren't together. Yeah. She is with the king, and she's the queen. He's their guard. I get it, he's
advisor,
a friend, but Advisor. Yeah, they asked him to be the advisor. Okay. Anyways, I just wrote the note, ... So weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the dreams are important. Usually I wouldn't talk about dreams that much, but they turn out being important. So she's having these dreams where they lead her to that cave where her and Cass finally stopped pretending. And turns out that they can communicate through the dreams, which is something that only heartmates can do.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much confirmed that.
What is it, dream walking?
Dream walking, yeah. Special delivery, finger in a box.
In retaliation, though, for the head she sent to Is Bitch.
Is bitch. True. She did send her husband's head on a silver platter. I don't know if it was a silver platter or not, but she did. Okay?
Yeah.
My next note says Poppy having some anger issues.
Yeah.
Like, something happens, I get it, and she gets fired up like I do too, but I don't have the power of primals. So I can't just like destroy the whole world if I get bad. This girl needs to like reel it in. Because at this point I think, do some yoga. Kieran had to get in her head and like be like, you good, fam?
You're scaring everybody around us. You're causing the whole place to shake. Can you just like take some deep breaths and chill the fuck out?
Yeah, not gonna lie, you looking a little psycho right now, girly pop.
Yeah.
Okay, then an old lady attacks Poppy. This caused a bunch of questions in my head because of what she said. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she made it sound like she was with some other greater power that wasn't, like, if she was religious, she would obviously be back Poppy, because Poppy's like the granddaughter of the god of gods, right? Or something like that. So anyways, old lady attacks Poppy, then gets thwacked. This is my note. Millicent is so weird, but at this point I'm starting to wonder if something is up with her. Literally, she's so weird. But anyways, Millicent brings a message to Kieran and Poppy in Queen's Palace to discuss like a plan forward, pretty much. They go. She stays in her old bedroom with Kieran. At this point, I think Bro's obsessed with her. I think we have like a Bella Edward Jacob situation here.
Yeah, very much a love triangle.
Yeah, but like, she's married and heartmated to someone else. So it just... Okay, we'll get there. Okay, they go discuss. Isbeth, they're talking, makes her so mad, calls her a harbinger.
Mm-hmm. Harbinger of death,
she doesn't think that she is. She loses it again, and Millicent asks her, like, is that really what you want to do? Which at this point I'm like, okay, what side is Millicent on here? I think
exactly.
Like, we're right in the middle here, you know?
Yeah.
At this point in the book, I'm like, if she didn't care, she wouldn't have said that. She wouldn't have like tried to talk her off the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she talks to Bitch and says, you can see your dad or you can see your husband. And she's like, hubby it is.
Husband, obviously.
Yeah, so she goes in there. He looks terrible. Anyway, she leaves because he told her to. And then Millicent comes in and pretty much gets in the bath with Cass and is like, by the way, I'm Poppy's sister.
Which I almost wonder if she did that because water has been known to be like a conduit for like good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, no, I think so. Which at this point, I'm like, okay, I thought she was a revenant, but then she didn't survive what Poppy's currently going through.
Mm-hmm.
So she turned her into a revenant to save her, pretty much, because she was going to die. The culling, you know what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay, so when Poppy gets back to her room, she talks to Kieran through the head and was like, okay, we're busting out of this bitch in the middle of the night. We're going to break out Cass and we're going to bust out. This is bullshit. Anyways, turns out Brother Malik is good. Well, we think. Take him at his word. Mm-hmm. Did you think he was going to double cross him here?
Yeah.
When they busted him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so helps him bust Cass out. They get him out. They're at this nice couple's house who are, what do they call them? Just dissenters.
Yeah.
And they get stuck. Guards come, bust down the door, and then she says, okay, we'll let you go. You have 2 weeks to bring me my heartmate. And then infect something with Kieran with something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so then they decide that they are going to do the joining because if they don't get the curse to work, Poppy being a primal will save Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I get the joining. I get it. If it was just Cass, I don't understand why it had to be, number one, a threesome. And if so, whatever, to each their own. She doesn't even know who came on her back, okay? She doesn't know whose leg she was humping. Like, okay.
It's also
could have
weird.
done a better job at least. It was so weird. It wasn't just like, it was sexual, but it was also like, why is she riding some motherfucker's leg?
Yeah. I don't know if that's like the immaturity and like shelteredness of her. Like, I don't know. It's all so weird.
Okay. And then if it would have just been a one night thing, I would have been fine. Okay. Because, okay, they do the joining, they're fine. Why the fuck is Kieran still sleeping in bed with them? And why are they acting like a throuple?
Literally, I was like, so are we not gonna like talk about the fact that you guys are all just having an orgy every night? Like, I'm so confused.
But like the boys didn't do anything.
They seem very comfortable with it, so I'm like, they've done this before.
Yeah. But also I'm like, okay, there's a part of me that just wants to believe in a normal, powerful woman, powerful man, heartmate matchup stay that way. I don't know. That guys, don't come at me. If you want to believe differently, that's your total right. You are an American and we have freedom of speech and religion, whatever. I personally was like, why do we have to throw him in here? Not that I don't like him as a character. I do.
Yeah.
I think he deserves his own happily ever after, not crashing someone else's. And now a throuple, he's always going to be the third wheel.
Yeah. And they're bonded.
I don't know that they're a throuple. I know they're bonded, but I'm like, I don't understand why they're making it like a throuple after.
Yeah.
Because before, Kieran had his own room. Like, he would sleep in the chair if, like, one of them were sick or something. Like, Kieran wasn't sleeping in bed with them, like, literally right up. They're all sleeping in bed together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since this moment, I know the big thing was coming after it. I was just like, I don't even care to finish the book. But that's how much it rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe I'm not. I don't know.
I mean, I didn't mind it, but it's just weird. I don't know.
It wasn't needed for the joining was necessary for the storyline to save Kieran, right? But
yeah,
I don't think like the sexual thrupleness of it was needed for the storyline.
No.
I think it was just a fantasy she wanted to come to life. That she just rides some random dude's leg. Like, I don't know if it's my husband. I don't know if it's his best friend. I don't know who just came on my back.
Yeah.
If they came on the back, I'm going to assume it's Kieran because your husband's not pulling out.
Yeah, maybe.
So
who knows?
I have third-hand embarrassment talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's, get back to the actual meat and potatoes here. They get God Melek, whatever. And plot twist, Isbeth just fucking stabs his ass. Were you like, what the fuck?
Literally, I was like, why? Like, you went through all this trouble to get him and you're just gonna stab him? Like,
yeah.
I thought he was like the love of your life.
Yeah. I was like, bitch, what? What? Yeah, no, this whole scene, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of chaos. I feel like when she stabbed him, right, it like released the fucking floodgates of what God knows what. So she's like, Poppy has to step up and be the queen that she is. She doesn't understand her power. And I think she finally, in this moment, Delano dies, which, rest in peace, that wrecked me. I actually really liked him.
Yeah.
And then she kills Queen Bee by just making her explode herself. But when she does, she takes out everyone else too. And I'm like, this is insane. She could do this the whole time. How has these 4 books been such a struggle for her?
Yeah.
Like a snap of the fingers.
Yeah.
But she also brings Delano back to life after that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, okay, so I thought she couldn't bring people back to life that were between 2 worlds. Apparently she can.
Yeah. It's all very contradictory. And it's like, maybe she didn't have the power initially.
But she
and
completed,
now that
like,
she's
the calling.
done that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But there's no real definition of any of it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the next books will give us more clarity. Or maybe that's just what we get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after this, Millicent runs off, and Bro Malik runs off to chase his love. Yeah. And that's what we know. We don't know if he catches her. We don't know anything. The book ends with okay, all the gods are waking up. It's like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Because, like, I feel like gods be fighting.
Yeah.
So, I guess we'll see. Why
There's
is it that
just
every
so
time a god
much
wakes
to
up,
it.
the earthquakes? Sorry.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, it was all, I don't know. I feel like it was like so drawn out and then so rushed at the end of the book. Like so much happens, bam, bam, bam. Like I get, you want the big like cliffhanger and you want people to come back for more, but also just felt kind of rushed.
That I think they built it up.
Mhm.
They built it up to the joining, and then after the joining, it was like, phew.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
I
guess
always
all four
wonder,
books were working up to that moment, though.
yeah, I always wonder if when a book feels rushed like that, if it's like because somebody was trying to meet a deadline or,
Yeah, that would be my guess.
yeah, I don't like it.
No, I definitely think the third book was the best. I'll stand by this. And I'm reading the fifth right now. And I'm saying that the third is the best.
Yeah, my favorite my favorite uh moments in the book were when they're going to lasagna and she's like lasagna. He's like
So
no,
yeah,
lasagna.
that's funny.
And then once Cass gets back and she's like, are you mad that I had to drink from Kieran? He's like, no, I could never like fault you for that, like you have to stay alive. He said, no matter who she sought aid from, I wouldn't hold it against her. The other person, thoughts and prayers for their asses, though. I was like,
Yeah, oh, that part was hilarious. But I'm like, he's gonna say that, but then he's gonna have a threesome with Kieran. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, it was all so contradictory. It's so back and forth. There's no like
Yeah,
anything defined.
yeah, for
And
sure.
then where are they? They're out like in the middle of nowhere, and somebody takes some act of war against them, and they're like trying to hide, and she just gets on top of a boulder, and Cass is like, "Are you hiding on a boulder?" like,
What are you doing, girl?
like you
Of
realize
course,
everybody can see you.
here comes my Shrek quote of the day. That's a nice boulder.
The amount of times I say that, and the kids are like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah,
I'm like, clearly you've not
I
seen it
quote Shrek
enough.
too much. Yeah, no, that is one of the most quotable movies. Not just because it's one of my favorites. It just has so many one-liners that are so quotable. Like, can't help it.
Yeah. The other night before we were going to bed, I asked Kaylin, like, what do you want for breakfast in the morning? I was like, do you want like pancakes? Do you want waffles? Do you want biscuits? And he's like, I mean, waffles are okay. I said, okay, in the morning, I'm making waffles. And he's like,
Yes.
okay.
Cool, mom. Thanks.
All right.
That's hilarious. I said that playing games with your husband the other day because the guy's gamer tag was waffles. And I was like, that's kind of funny. I can't say anything though. Jesse's is Cookie Crisp, so I mean, it kind of fits the genre.
Yeah. Did he tell you about his I guess 15 minutes of fame? Him and somebody attacked a streamer on Twitch and
No.
like smoked the fuck out of him, and the guy like ended up ending his stream because they just kept attacking.
Who was he playing with?
I have no idea. But he set up like an auto turret, so every time he respawned, it just killed him. And he's like, okay, he set it up, and something. The guy did something and like killed Jeremy, and he was like, okay, that's all I wanted. My retaliation. I killed Jeremy.
On his stream? That is so good. No, I hope his GG thing auto clipped that shit. Yeah, that's awesome.
Had to show me the video. I was like, yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, so he must have clipped it if he has a video of it.
It was on his, like, he uploaded it to YouTube. The guy did. So one of the guys that he was playing with sent him the link. He's like, hey, that guy like uploaded it.
This. I can't believe he uploaded him losing. He needs to tell him when we get off here to send that to us on Discord or something. I want to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell him. Okay, so the next book is...
Oh, do we need to do our Oh, never mind.
What is the next one? Is it just, no?
I wrote From Blood and Ash, book 5.
A Light in the Flame, maybe?
I don't think so. I was just looking on Goodreads. Why did I close it?
I know, I'll have to look at that graphic.
Oh, I didn't close it. Okay, From Blood and Ash, shop to see.
A Soul of Blood and Ash.
A Soul of Blood and Ash, yeah. It is Cass's point of view of the first book. So maybe that's why it says a soul.
What the fuck?
A soul of ash and blood, not blood and ash.
Because it says I finished that. And I definitely didn't finish it.
Oh, you marked the wrong one.
Of Ash and Blood. Yeah, I have definitely not finished that. Like, Everand marked it finished.
Shit. Tisha. Visions of Flesh and Blood. A Blood and Ash, Flesh and Fire compendium. I don't know what that means. As told by Miss Willa.
Oh. So do we need to read both of them then? Because it says it's 5.5.
A companion guide for background history, reader favorite information, art, reference materials, combined with original short stories and scenes from one of the world's most beloved characters, told from the point of view of Miss Willa, acts like research material but reads like a journal.
So is this like her actual diary?
I don't think so.
Huh. Okay, so do we need to cover both of those next week then? I think
Maybe.
I have it saved.
Or we could cover this one after Christmas if you want.
Maybe. Because we will have like that.
When we do the other ones.
Because we need to do what you call it before Onyx Storm. Yeah. Okay, so next week we will talk about A Soul of Ash and Blood, the 5th book in the FBAA series. Yeah, and I think that's it. So go follow our socials and be sure to subscribe so you get a notification. We put out new episodes every week. And Merry Christmas. Happy
Christmas,
December.
y'all.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.